Have we cured obesity? This is probably the most important question that science faces right now. And the good news is the early data suggests we are making rapid progress towards curing the disease of obesity. Hey everyone, it's Spencer Hakimian, and welcome back to a special episode of What's Moving Your Money with Forbes. On today's episode, we are going to be covering all of the data, the promising data of GLP-1s like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and the progress that they are making, and we as a society are making for honestly the first time in 50 years towards eradicating obesity. So sit back tight and I hope you guys enjoy. We have a busy episode ahead. So in the middle of 2023, GLP-1s, which have actually been around for quite a long time, entered the commercial mainstream with companies like Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, there's 100 of them. I'm sure you know of these. And what ended up happening was that for the first time in basically the post-World War II history, obesity rates in the United States have fallen. This is critical. I cannot stress how important enough this is. Obviously, on a personal level, not everyone in America suffers from obesity. But right now, we have almost 40% of our country that is clinically obese in medical terms. And look, that basically means that if not you, then someone you know, a spouse, a child, a parent, a sibling, a good friend, a work colleague, has obesity. It is almost inevitable in 2025 to go through your life and not know multiple people that unfortunately have obesity. And yes, obviously, we have other remedies towards obesity. Obviously, you can eat healthier, you can exercise more often, you can count your calories, you can focus on some foods that are just too high carb or too high fat or whatever it may be that is causing you to gain weight. But obviously there is a segment of Americans that this was not working for. The traditional medical guidance was just not working for them. Obesity was rising year over year, unstopped. The chart of obesity in America was up and to the right forever. And finally, we have something that appears to be working. And by the way, it's not just working for obesity. It's, believe it or not, working on people that have gambling addictions, cigarette addiction, drug addiction. There's even some preliminary research that is showing promising results in terms of GLP-1s and Alzheimer's, believe it or not. Guys, obviously, I am not a medical doctor. I am not giving medical advice. You have to obviously consult with a doctor. But what I am saying is GLP-1s quite literally may be the most significant medical breakthrough that we as a society have accomplished in maybe the entire 21st century. It's outstanding and the results are immediate. Obviously, this is a financial channel. Forbes is a financial network. I run a hedge fund. So I obviously also want to get into the numbers and the financial effect, both on a personal level, but also on a societal level of the benefits of GLP-1s. And again, I can't stress this enough. I'm not a doctor. I cannot prescribe obviously any of this, but here I'm just talking about what I'm seeing in front of me. And I welcome any comments and any dissents that I have from people that may think otherwise to me. Please comment in the section if you don't agree. But let's get into the numbers. Look, the United States spends more than any other country in the world on healthcare costs, specifically on Medicare and Medicaid, which are publicly funded. They are taxpayer funded programs. Now, this is significant because one of the reasons why, amongst many, but one of the reasons why the United States pays much more than, let's say, France or Norway for healthcare is because we have a significantly more obese population than our respective European counterparts do. So, believe it or not, GLP-1s may literally be helping us with our budget. And as we all know, our fiscal situation in America is catastrophically bad. Republicans can't solve it. Democrats can't solve it. Independents can't solve it. As much as we talk about it, we cannot solve it. And one of the reasons we cannot solve it is that the majority of spending in America is entitlements. If that upsets you, so be it. I'm here to report the facts. The majority of spending in America are entitlement programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Anything that we can do to lower the prices that we have to spend on these programs is critical. It will extend the longevity of these programs. It will extend the solvency of our country. It will lower bond yields organically. It will help reduce government waste and bloat. Everything that I think we should want as a country, regardless of our political affiliations. I'm an independent. I think half of the viewers of this channel are Republican and the other half are Democrat. I'm not a political guy. But what I'm saying is, I think everyone can agree that we want to do these things as a country. Now, one thing that I think is very important to capture is there are second order effects of obesity that are devastating, not just health-wise, everyone knows about that, but also financially. Did you know that someone that is obese has roughly 3 times higher lifetime health costs than a non-obese person? Did you know that an obese person misses roughly 5 times more work per year than a non-obese person? This is mathematical fact. This is not opinion. This is not jargon. This is literal fact. There's no conjecture here. Obesity is not just bad on a health level. It is economically devastating. It's devastating to the individual, to the family, to the companies he or she may work for, to the stakeholders, to everyone. Everyone is impacted when you have a sick and unhealthy society. Now, guys, one other thing with obesity, and I'm sure you guys have all observed this in your personal life, people, and this is scientifically proven tragically time and time again, people with obesity have a higher likelihood of developing mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. Obesity is not just a physical ailment. It can easily morph into a mental health ailment. And in many cases, mental health disorders are just as bad, if not worse, than just having a physical disorder alone. If you look at the routine studies of the happiest countries on earth, the Netherlands, the Scandinavian countries, Finland, places like that, they are significantly happier than the United States. Even our neighbors, the Canadians, are significantly happier than us. And one reason I hypothesize is that they are healthier than us. If you are healthy, you are happy. And when you are healthy and happy, it's easier to be kind to your neighbors. It's easier to focus on your businesses and your ideas that will add tremendous value to society. It's easier to focus on arts and putting out content like this. It's much easier to go about life when you are mentally and physically happy. And if we can do something with these GLP-1s, where we take people that were on a track to, pardon my French, hell on earth, and we can sidestep them off that track. Look, are we going to solve obesity? Absolutely not, right? But a certain population of people that may have been destined towards obesity, right, that may now not have to go through that terrible challenge in life. What better thing can we do as a society than to focus on things like that? And guys, to wrap up today's episode, I don't want to be naive. Obviously, there are pros and cons to GLP-1s. One that people talk about a lot is muscle loss and how important that is, especially as people get into old age. Muscle is very important, and obviously, this is not an endorsement to take it without medical advice. Obviously, medicine has to be individualized. That's the only way that it works. But on a societal level, it is clear that so far, GLP-1s for a certain segment of this population of our country is a lifesaver. It's an economic lifesaver. It's a physical and mental lifesaver. It is a lifesaver of families. Picture how many people will lose a parent to diabetes that came from obesity in the United States this year. And think about how many of those stories can we get rid of from the human entire story just by having some segment of the population take this solution to obesity. I think it is very encouraging. So many times in news we talk about negative stories, but it's also important to talk about the positive stories. I think this is a tremendously positive development for our society, and I think the results are only going to get better over time. So guys, that's that for today's episode. I want to thank you for watching, and please comment, like and subscribe, like Forbes YouTube page, like my own, and I can't wait to see you guys soon.